Let's talk about two incredible megacities, Dhaka and Kolkata. I mean, these are true sister cities. They share a language, a history, a deep-rooted culture. But a border drawn over 75 years ago sent them down two totally different roads. So the big question is, which one is really ahead today? Well, the answer is probably not what you're thinking.
So let's get right to it. The question that sparks a million arguments. Which city is actually richer? For decades, I think we all thought the answer was obvious. But, recent data has completely flipped the script. It reveals a really surprising economic story that's unfolding right now.
To really get what's happening today, we've got to rewind a bit. You have to remember, both of these cities were once united under British rule, part of this single, vibrant Bengali identity. But then came the partition of 1947, which set them on two completely different national journeys, eventually creating modern India and Bangladesh.
Okay, first, let's just talk about the sheer scale here. Kolkata. It's a massive city, a megacity of over 16 million people. But Dhaka? Dhaka is on another level entirely. With more than 25 million residents, it is literally the most densely packed major city on the entire planet.
All right, let's dive into the economics of this, because this is where the data starts to tell a story that, honestly, most people just do not see coming.
Let's start with the big one, total economic output. And we're going to use something called purchasing power parity, which just adjusts for the local cost of living. And right away, boom, our first big surprise. Dhaka's economy is sitting at around $316 billion. That is way bigger than Kolkata's $220 billion. I mean, that's a gap of almost $100 billion.
And to put that number into perspective, think about this. The city of Dhaka by itself makes up almost half of Bangladesh's entire national GDP. It is an absolute economic engine. In fact, if Dhaka were its own country, its economy would be the 50th largest in the whole world.
Okay, so a huge GDP is great for the headlines. But how does that wealth actually trickle down to the individual level, right? This is where we get to the real heart of the economic story.
So in Dhaka, the average income per person is about $5,163. Now that's nearly double the national average for Bangladesh, which just goes to show you how concentrated the country's wealth really is in its capital. Now, let's jump over to Kolkata. Here, the average income is around $3,750. Now that's pretty prosperous by Indian standards, for sure, but it's significantly lower than what we're seeing in Dhaka.
So, here it is. This is the conclusion we've been building towards. On a person-by-person basis, the average resident of Dhaka is now wealthier than the average resident of Kolkata. It's a really stunning turnaround and a testament to Dhaka's absolutely explosive economic growth.
But hey, we all know money isn't everything, right? Economic numbers on a page don't tell you the whole story. What's it actually like to live in these cities every single day? This is where the comparison gets a lot more complicated.
For example, let's talk about traffic. Oh, the traffic. In Dhaka, during peak hours, the average speed of a vehicle can slow to a crawl, just 5 to 7 kilometers per hour.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That's barely faster than walking. This legendary gridlock, it's not just some minor inconvenience. We're talking about billions of dollars in lost productivity and a massive source of daily stress for millions and millions of people.
And this is where Kolkata has a huge advantage. Its metro rail system, the very first in India, has been up and running since 1984. You combine that with a huge bus network and the country's only tram system, and you've got a city where people just have way more options for getting around.
But here's the thing. For all of their differences, when you really start to look beneath the surface, you realize that both of these cities are wrestling with some immense and, frankly, strikingly similar challenges.
In Dhaka, all that rapid economic growth, it definitely came at a cost. Today, roughly 30% of the city's entire population lives in slums or informal settlements, places where basic services and infrastructure are really, really lacking. Now, look at Kolkata. The number is almost identical. About 1/3 of its population also lives in slums. It's just a powerful reminder that despite their very different economic trajectories, both cities are facing the exact same profound struggle with urban poverty.
And here's another little twist in the story. Even though India has a much larger overall economy, Bangladesh's national life expectancy is actually higher. It's around 73 years. And that really points to some incredible successes in grassroots public health, things like child vaccination drives and maternal health programs that are having a nationwide impact.
So after going through all of this, what's the final verdict?
Well, let's just bring it all together and take a look at the complete picture, side by side.
This table kind of sums up our whole journey. You can see Dhaka clearly leads in population, total GDP, and that all-important per capita income. But Kolkata has the edge with its historical infrastructure, like its much older metro system and a slightly higher literacy rate. But what's really striking is just how close they are on the big challenges, like those slum populations.
So if you boil it all down, this is the core trade-off we're seeing. Dhaka's incredible strength is its explosive, dynamic economy. It's an engine of growth. Kolkata's strength, on the other hand, is its legacy of urban planning and infrastructure, which, by many measures, just makes it a more livable city day to day.
Ultimately, this isn't about one city winning. As one of our sources so beautifully puts it, they aren't competitors, they're cousins. Yeah, they're separated by a border, but they're deeply connected by culture, by language, and by that shared, chaotic, resilient experience of being a South Asian megacity. And that really leaves us with the most important question of all. It's not about which city is better right now. The real question is, which one can more quickly and effectively tackle its massive challenges, from traffic and pollution to deep-seated poverty, to build a better future for the tens of millions of people who call these incredible places home?